championship. For Iona Prep, it's junior southpaw Sean Mara. And on the other side for the Friars of St. Anthony's, senior Chris Enuzel looks to give his team another shot at a Catholic League championship. And from Schuart Stadium here at Hofstra University, this is the CHSFL AAA championship game. The Gales of Iona Prep versus the St. Anthony's Friars. Hello again, everyone. I'm Lou Brogno alongside Jimmy Cavallo. A crisp, cool November afternoon, but beautiful for this championship game. And these two teams playing outstanding football coming into this title game, Jim. Let's talk a little bit about how the Gales and the Friars got to this point.
Lou, it was just 1 week ago. Iona Prep led Holy Cross 27-20. The fourth quarter was on. 49 seconds left. Here comes Holy Cross QB Eric Andrewkevich to Tony Abraham. The game is tied with 49 ticks left. Overtime, right? Wrong. Enter the junior QB Sean Mara. First, he goes up top to the junior Ryan Jenkins, and here come the Gales. Now, very next play, 27 seconds left. It's Mara again. Look at the poise as he rolls out. A little touch pass to the end zone. Yes, sir. Clifton Pope, another junior. That is it. Game over. The Gales are going to the Catholic Finals, and the celebration was on. The Cardiac Kids, the juniors, pull it out with just 49 seconds left.
St. Anthony's is playing outstanding football. The Friars have won 9 straight after losing their first game to Don Bosco, and they are gunning for their 5th straight championship.
Hey, it was the Islanders just across the street, went for the drive for 5, but again, St. Anthony's, it was just a week ago. They're taking on Chaminade. This game was tied at 7 at the half, but then St. Anthony's offense takes over. He can beat you with his arm, he can beat you with his legs. The senior QB, Chris Enuzel, 20 yards into the end zone, and St. Anthony's was rolling. We said he could throw. Oh, man. Watch this one. On the fly is Sean Burke. 80 yards later, touchdown number 14 on the year for Sean Burke. And look at this. St. Anthony's is going to the finals once again. A 7-point victory over the Flyers of Chaminade.
Surprising upstart Iona Prep against 4-time defending champ St. Anthony's. Well, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Eamon McEnany.
Thanks, Lou. And the fact that Iona Prep is in this AAA championship game is a story right out of Hollywood. Depleted by injuries, the Gales are dressing less than 30 healthy players and are 1 win away from the school's first football title since 1967. As for St. Anthony's, I talked to Coach Rich Reichert this week, and he's well aware that his squad is the Goliath in this matchup, but many of his players saw Iona Prep in person last week, so they are well aware what a challenge the Gales present. Coach Reichert also told me that a fast start is premium for the Friars to sort of take away some of that feeling of belief from Iona Prep, but also to wear down many of the Gales' two-way players. Now let's send it back to Jimmy and Lou as we get set for the opening kickoff.
Yes, sir, Raymond, and Richie Reichert hopefully will land the AAA championship. How about the AA championship? It was played earlier today, and what a moment. St. Francis Prep head coach Vince O'Connor, victory number 300, getting congratulations from Don Buchwald to St. Anthony's. How about that? Coach O'Connor, number 300. He is now second all-time in New York State. Number 1, of course, Bethpage High School, how he votes. Vince O'Connor, victory number 300. I mean, Lou, he got his 100 for Stepanak in 74, number 200 for Chaminade in 88, 28-6. St. Francis Prep over St. Peter's on Staten Island. They are your AA champ.
Well, Jim, besides the victories, just giving all that time, all those years to coaching, just a tremendous story right there. This championship game is underway, and St. Anthony, Sean Burke is on his way across the 50-yard line as he returns the opening kickoff, and the Friars are set up with great field position to begin this game.
Yeah, it's no secret right there. He averages 38 yards per return, number 1 in the Catholic League. Sean Burke, he's returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns this year. Any way, shape, or form you want to get the ball into the hands of number 7 in black. Look at him weave his way through the Gales. And if not for that saving tackle right there, excellent effort by Julian Trincone. The kicker saves a touchdown. Great job by the kicker there to take him down.
Here's a look at Sean Burke, the outstanding receiver. 1st and 10, St. Anthony's in Iona Prep territory as they try to run the football. And now a nice move getting to the 47-yard line. On the carry was John Gagliano. All right, let's take a look at the Friars' starting offense. It's an excellent offensive unit led by their quarterback, Chris Enuzel. Matt Barnathan and Vinny Panarelli are the running backs. Jack Egan's the tight end. The brilliant Sean Burke and Tom Cena are the wide receivers. There's a look at your offensive line. Fletcher, Hagen, Pupo, Kern, and Maggiacomo. It is 2nd down and 9, St. Anthony's at the Iona Prep 48-47. Panarelli takes it right up the middle, makes a great cut across the 35, still on his feet, and bangs his way down to the 32-yard line. All right, the Iona Prep defense for the Gales. Up front, it's Kuyos, Polachinski, Coles, and Moye. Carbone, Missisco, Cahill, and Barnwell are the linebackers. And a good secondary, Castellano, Jenkins, and Chris Scarella.
And Lou, they have a tall task today, taking on this triple option offense of St. Anthony's, arguably the best offense they have ever had, and that comes right from the head coach, Richie Reichert. They can take you down in so many ways.
And running outside and towards the corner now is Barnathan, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Great execution by the Friars. Froze the Iona Prep defense, and all of a sudden, here comes Barnathan coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, watch Matty Barnathan, the senior, off this option, and he's got nothing but daylight. A lot of black jerseys out there in front. Barnathan just turns it up. And Iona Prep right now, Lou, they know they're in a football game because the Friars just coming at them full cylinders.
Initial drive of the game for St. Anthony's, the four-time defending Catholic League champions. Burke is wide to the right. One setback now behind N-Uzel. And the handoff goes off tackle, and diving inside the 5-yard line is Keith Shannon, 5'7", 190-pound junior.
Yeah, so many different guys touch the football for Richie Reichert's offense. But you know, Lou, when they get in this close, and you see Shannon, his 05 stats, 7 touchdowns. When they get in this close, it's Vinny Panarelli, the guy to like to go to 2 touchdowns a week ago against Chaminade, 8 on the season. And Vinny, the bruising fullback, wearing number 32, only running back behind the QB N-Uzel.
Panarelli with 97 carries coming in, 479 yards. And N-Uzel keeps it himself, finds a seam, and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Anthony's.
He's just looking to cap off what a big-time season he's had so far. 11th rushing touchdown for the QB. Think about that, folks. 11 times into the end zone for Chris N-Uzel. Watch him run the option. He sees they got the corner closed down. The quick cut inside. Into the end zone he goes. And Hofstra and N-Uzel, the senior, has his Friars on the board.
Cody Marangolo in to kick the extra point. He's 41 of 44 on the year and drills this one through the uprights. And some whistles on the play. There's a flag down at the 5-yard line. And this one looks like it'll be against St. Anthony's as Rich Reichert looks on.
We got motion on the offense. 5 yards, left guard. The back.
Rich Reichert wanted to know who was it that moved. And he got the information. So that moves it 5 yards back, and they'll try this extra point kick from the 15-yard line.
That's our referee, Mike Bowden. The Marangolo, 4 field goals on the year, so this is certainly not pushing it out of his range.
Good snap kicked on the way, and it is no good. Wide to the left. So a rare miss by Marangolo. But with 9:48 remaining in the first, an impressive first drive for the Friars, and they are up 6-0.
And the 26-year skipper Richie wants to know what happened. But no problem for the Friars on that first drive, Lou. They go right down the field. Here's the touchdown once again. N-Uzel, boy, this guy knows how to read a defense. And the offense is in his hands, and he's the guy that makes the whole thing go. Watch it once again. Trapping guards coming down the line. He sees the defenders up top, and he cuts it back inside into the end zone off the option.
So a great start, 5 plays, 48 yards after the brilliant kickoff return by Burke. And Uzel capping off that drive, and you know exactly what Iona Prep didn't want to have happen, Jim. St. Anthony's getting into the end zone on their first drive of the game.
Yeah, that's a statement by the 4-time champion. But Iona Prep can score too, and they know how to put points on the scoreboard.
This one on the ground. It is fumbled at the 25, then picked up, and then bringing the ball back for Iona Prep is Joe Manueli, the outstanding running back on the kickoff return, and Iona Prep has pretty good field position to begin their first drive of the game. The Gales of Iona Prep 8-2 after defeating Holy Cross a week ago. There's Sean Mara, their outstanding quarterback. Joe Manueli has great numbers at one running back slot. Jenkins and James, the other backs. Clifton Pope, a talented tight end, and Mark Castellanos had a good season at wide receiver. Your offensive line, Moye, Murray, Davis, Perez, and Cuyos. It's the handoff coming outside and coming wide across the 35-yard line is Darlos James, and he has pretty good yardage for the Gales.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the St. Anthony's defense, which this year has stretched a little bit, but has not broken. Giannuzzi, Balone, Boycic, and John Kevin Dulce up front. The linebackers, Spinelli, Ezzo, and Leo Calvo. Brandon Brown, Robert Cheney leads the team in interceptions. Tim Paul and Sean Ruane. Second down and about 3. Handoff coming wide around the left end, and good yardage. Banged out of bounds at the 50-yard line is Ryan Jenkins. He's just a junior, and so far, James and Jenkins showing some pretty good speed to the corners.
Yeah, Jenkins, first team All-League as a sophomore. And you see him. Just a little speed draw here, and he goes left side, picks up some good blocks around the corner, and then Jenkins able to turn it up.
So Iona Prep has moved the ball all the way up to the 49-yard line. They look very sharp on their first offensive drive. Twin receivers go to the right. 2 setbacks behind Mara. Quick drop, fires outside. It's caught by Jenkins. Jenkins with a nice stiff arm takes it across the 40-yard line, and he's into St. Anthony's territory, out of bounds at the 36.
Yeah, they're so glad to get Jenkins back. He's coming off a stress fracture in his foot, and you see his stats. He's missed some action, but this guy's an explosive player, and this is what you get out of Sean Marilu. Look at the quick out right here. This guy delivers the ball so fast, enables his guys to get the ball in their hands and do what they do best, take it upfield. And very important here for Iona Prep after giving up that quick score to St. Anthony's. Respond. Even if they don't score, move the chains and respond. Don't let the Friars offense get right back on the field.
And diving up ahead is Joe Manueli. What a year he's had, Jim. 225 carries. Imagine that. What a workload. Over 1,100 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns. This guy's the real deal back there.
And Manueli, first year as a running back, Lou, and he leads the Catholic League in rushing. Now, that's just an amazing story. Defense only, he played a year ago, and now running the football, he's the top rusher in the league. 2nd and 3, and this looks like it could be a halfback option. Throwing back against the grain. Jenkins had to throw back across his body and tried to deliver to Mark Castellano. So it'll bring up a 3rd down on the incomplete pass. Yeah, you like the play right here by Iona Prep, Lou. You know, 2nd down and 3. They're probably in 2-down territory, so you take your shot here. And when you got a bruising back like Manueli, you figure here he can get the 3 yards it's going to take to get this 1st down on the next 2 plays. 3rd and 3 from the 30. Twin receivers go left side. St. Anthony's with a 6-0 lead. Mara flips it outside, caught by Jenkins, and he is drilled immediately, and he will be short of 1st down yardage. Julian Giannuzzi in on the tackle, the senior defensive end. Yeah, coming up there, Bobby Cheney, too. The senior, so nice stick by St. Anthony. Now they make it interesting. You know, you're thinking 3rd down and 3, no problem. But now they only picked up about half a yard on that play. So it brings up our first all-important play. 4th down and 2. Coach Carollo looking on in his 3rd year. Done such a great job. On a 4th down play, they run it up the middle. It's Manueli who carries, puts his head down and picks up 1st down yardage inside the 25-yard line to the 22. Oh, you think they're going after it here in the Catholic final? Because watch Manueli hit the hole. He's going to take a bone-crushing hit at the end of this. Watch Joe after he gets the 1st down. Look at this pop right here. And Joe No Problem keeps the legs going, picks up another extra yard. A great job by the offense here, paving the way. Out there in front, Jeffrey Perez. Perez, just a sophomore from that guard position, opened it up And Manueli's got his Gales a first down as they enter the red zone.
1st and 10, they mark it at the 21. And it's a double reverse and does not fool the St. Anthony's defense. Great pursuit as they stayed home. And a short pickup for Iona Prep. Let's check in with Eamon.
Well, Lou, just to elaborate a little bit on what Jimmy was talking about, Joe Manueli coming in. He was the 3rd string running back, really wasn't expected to carry the ball at all. But when Eric Mitchell went down before the Stepanak game, Joe's dad made a suggestion to the coaching staff that, try to give Joe the ball. He's been, he can run pretty well. And I would imagine that 11 touchdowns and more than 1,000 yards rushing on the season sounds like a pretty good suggestion to me.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And don't forget, he had to win the job. I mean, Joe's dad made a very respectful kind of suggestion to coach. Give him a shot.
And he has the football here, powers his way inside the 20. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long for the Gales.
Yeah, but Joe's got to be enjoying running the football. Hey, nothing like being the running back on a championship football team. A guy who was playing defense a year ago. And Joe Manueli is the senior. That's quite a feat, Lou, to lead the New York Catholic Football League in rushing. And he did just that in his first year carrying the ball.
Here's a big play for Iona Prep. They put together a nice drive. Vic Carollo looks on in his 3rd season as head coach of the Gales, and he wants to see his team get some points out of this drive. Coming around the end is Darlos James, and he's inside the 15-yard line, but he's going to be short of 1st down yardage. So decision time here for Iona Prep.
Well, they have not even attempted a field goal this year. So you expect them to go for it and put the ball in the hands of Sean Mara. And Coach Carollo now talking it over. They have a guy who's kicked extra points but have not attempted a field goal. And they're going to go for it. Sean Mara's got the play. So you'll expect to see Sean Mara throw the football here. And he's got such a nice quick release. Surveys the field so beautifully. What a job he's done, Lou. It's his first year as the starting quarterback, just a junior. And he has his Gales in the Catholic Championship. What a story.
4th down and 4, and Mara will call a timeout with 5:18 remaining here in the first quarter. The score, St. Anthony's 6, Iona Prep nothing on the Snapple High School Football Game of the Week. All right, Mike, and sorry I'm going to miss you guys on Thanksgiving Day, Jim, but it should be a lot of fun up there.
No doubt about it. Good crowd on here. Big play in the ball game. 4th down.
4th down 4. Coming around is James, and he powers his way. He's going to be close to 1st down yardage.
And I think James, that little extension of the ball, is going to come down to the spot. He had to get just inside the 11-yard line. And it is oh so close. I thought he had more of a reach there at the back end. Didn't get the spot the Gales were looking for.
And the officials call for a measurement. Let's see it again.
And check it out again, Darlos James, just a freshman. How about that for respect? Giving the ball to a freshman on 4th down.
Tim Dotzler tried to stop him on that tackle.
Make him take it out.
Yeah, I don't know about this spot here, Lou. I don't think he got it with that. And, of course, in the estimation of the officials, says Nemo. Oh, he did get it. Look at that.
Wow.
All right, Darlos.
1st down for Iona Prep. You mentioned Darlos James, just a freshman. What a future he has.
Let me tell you something. In the Catholic semifinals against Holy Cross, he never came off the field. That's a freshman every snap. Offense, defense, and special teams, man. Wow.
So Iona Prep trying to answer St. Anthony's opening drive, and so far they've done it. 5:03 remaining in the first. 6-0 Friars, but here come the Gales. And spinning and twisting inside the 10-yard line. And down to about the 8 is Joe Manueli.
Well, the Gales can get a 1st down here by getting the ball just inside the 1. So Coach Carollo and his staff, all these guys on the only guy, ironically enough, who's not a former Gale is Coach Carollo. Everybody else, every assistant he has on this team is a graduate of Iona Prep. Just an amazing story. Coach Carollo is stepping that grad himself, but he's got a whole lot of Gales on that staff. And what a job they've done to get this squad into the AAA finals.
Football at the 8-yard line. Manueli, nice hole initially, And then St. Anthony's able to plug it up after he picked up about 2 or 3. Kevin Dulce in on the tackle for the Friars.
And Dulce, all-world guy, heavily recruited. Watch Dulce close this one up in a hurry coming down the line of scrimmage. Also some help there by Nicky Boysic. So they stuffed it the first 2 plays, making things difficult. Iona Prep, 13 plays, 63 yards. They've had the ball for 6 minutes on this possession.
Trying to get to the corner. Oh, what a hit! A ferocious hit by Chris Fumay. Oh!
Now that is a closeout hit at its finest right there. Because Jenkins was turning and burning and had the end zone in his sights. But watch 43 come into your screen. This is a textbook tackle right there at the 5-yard line. Takes him down to the turf and brings up another 4th down. What a play right there by Chris. See his season, 43 tackles. Number 44 was a biggie.
And 29 of those solo. Make it 30 now solo, because that was an outstanding hit. 4th down and 4 from the 5-yard line. And this is a little bit of a trick play. It's going to be incomplete. They reached into their bag of tricks. Ryan Jenkins trying to throw back to Manueli, but it's incomplete, and St. Anthony's holds.
Little surprise, Coach Carroll didn't just put the ball in the hands of his junior QB. The defense knew they'd be throwing the football there. So the option pass doesn't come as that much of a surprise. And now you're asking a running back to throw a strike, and he does not. So after 7 minutes with the football, the Gales will turn it over to St. Anthony's. Not a total loss, Lou, because now they can hopefully take them 3 and out and still maintain field position here.
1st and 10 for the Friars at their own 5-yard line. And they hand the ball up the middle to Vinny Panarelli, but not much yardage there. Maybe a yard on the carry. Interior of that line, Andrew Mortati on the tackle. He's got good size, 6'2", 225. Last week, 2 sacks against Holy Cross.
Yeah, one of the real leaders on this team. Guy, leadership committee, student, faculty, council, really getting it done off the field too. He plans to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Fumble on the snap, ball loose at the 5-yard line. Iona Prep says they've got it, but the officials, I think, are signaling St. Anthony's recovery. Well, that could have been disastrous for the Friars.
Yeah, Richie Reichert still can't be happy though, Lou. That cost him a down right there, so it brings him up 3rd and short. And watch it, right off the exchange there, and Uzel doesn't get his hands on it. Oh, man. Ball was there for the taking. So now 3rd down and 10, and Uzel will be called upon to throw it. Haven't seen 10-7 yet in this game, and you better keep your eye on number 7 as he lines up right of Chris Uzel.
3rd and 10. And Uzel from his own end zone fires down the middle, incomplete, and Ryan Jenkins had a shot at it. Just a little bit too high at the 35-yard line.
Now watch it once again. And Uzel back to throw, gets a good block inside by Austin Fletcher and just kind of throws this one into coverage, and oh man, that could have been a disaster right there, because Jenkins from his cornerback position had his sights on this one that just sailed on Uzel. Look at Jenkins, he knows it. He won't miss many of those, but good job by the Iona Prep defense, Lou. They took him 3 and out and will get the ball back with great field position.
Marangolo will punt from the back of his own end zone. High snap, but he steps into it, and a line drive kick that bounces at the 35-yard line and then out of bounds at about the 38. Iona Prep with excellent field position to begin their 2nd drive of the game.
So Richie Riker just happened to get that punt out of there and avoid any disasters. Richie, 26th year, seeking his 8th title. Boy, he's on top of the world now, Lou. 4-time champion in the New York Catholic League. And Sean Mara and his Gales looking to just break through. really for their first. I mean, you got to go back almost 40 years for the last one. So what a story for the Gales. They were in AA a year ago. So the new kids on the block bumped up to AAA, and they've made most of their opportunity.
1st and 10, handoff up the middle. Manueli breaking tackles and then dives across the 35-yard line. Anthony Ezzo on the tackle for the Friars, but a pickup of about 4.
First team All-League running back this year. Over 1,300 yards for Joe Manueli.
There are his impressive numbers. 101 yards against St. Anthony's the first time these two teams met this year. Trying to get outside and then hit at the 30 and spun down is Darlos James.
Now watch the field as freshmen once again. But a good job by the St. Anthony's defense, because they really string it out. And everybody just kind of running to the football. And they closed it out. Brings up a 3rd down and 2. So manageable situation. Once again, Iona Prep here in 2-down territory. So don't be shocked if they go throw the football now.
And they won't get this play off here before the end of the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books here at Hofstra. The score, St. Anthony 6, Iona Prep nothing on the Snapple Game of the Week.
Turn of the century, and the Catholic High School Football League will go back to the year 2000. It's Monsignor Farrell out of Staten Island taking on St. Anthony's. Matty McGrone of Farrell, 23-yard field goal. Lions are your Catholic champs in the year 2000. You better enjoy it, boys, because from here on in, it was all Friars. 2001, Johnny Fisk plunges in. St. Anthony's beats St. Francis Prep 28-14. We go to 2002. St. Anthony's is taking on Chaminade. Matt Hahn, the junior. Oh, this guy was special. Hahn into the end zone, 34-32. St. Anthony's your 2002 champs. How about 2003? It's St. Anthony's and Farrell once again. Here he comes once again. Number 32, the Penn State bound halfback, Matt Hahn to the end zone once again. St. Anthony's rolls 31-12. Oh my, Matt Hahn, what a special player. And then a year ago, Monsignor Farrell once again, St. Anthony's. Cody Marangolo on the field tonight. A year ago, splits the uprights in the double overtime. St. Anthony's is your 4-time Catholic High School Football League champ.
And Rich Reichert's team gunning for number 5 in a row here tonight. Look at that, 7 overall. 93 through 95, 2001 through 2004.
And what's amazing, Lou, about that is they come in as the 4-time champs, and everybody's like, boy, on top of the world. But don't forget one thing about Richie Reichert. There was a time where he seemed to be snake-bitten. 1996, 1997, he loses to the Mount. 1999, in the year 2000, he loses to Farrell. I mean, he lost 4 years in a row there. And then from 2001 on now, he's ripped off 4 in a row. So he's the snake now, baby. Richie Reichert is on top of the world now in the Catholic High School Football League as the 4-time champion. He really has it rolling.
Here's Mara back to throw on 1st down. Going end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Iona Prep. Mark Castellano on the reception.
What a ball by Mara.
Castellano's 32nd reception of the season, and it's a big one.
This is why when you get a big play, you're surprised if the ball's not in his hands. Look at the ball. Mara delivers that short, compact delivery, and Castellano goes up and gets it. That quickly, they strike through the Gales.
Iona Prep an extra point away from taking the lead. The kick is on the way, and it is good as Julian Trancone kicks it through. 7-6 Iona Prep. Eamon?
Well, Lou, the amazing thing about the season Sean Mara is having is that he didn't play quarterback growing up. In fact, he never played the position until he went to Iona Prep as a freshman. But Sean and many of the coaches feel that the reason he has such a strong arm is spending so much time with the Giants at training camp and before games, fielding punts and kickoffs during warm-ups and then throwing the ball 40 or 50 yards back to the punters and kickers. He also feels that's why he has such a strong feel for the game, because he's been around the game all his life. Jimmy and Lou, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, Eamon, and what a throw by Sean Mara.
And you watch it once again. 10 touchdowns coming in Castellano. Just watch the touch. He puts on the football right here. And what Sean Mara does, Lou, is he puts the ball in positions where his receivers can make plays. And once again, there is not a lot of room here. There's good coverage here by St. Anthony's, but watch the location of this football. And up top goes Castellano. Touchdown for the Gales, and they have themselves a 1-point lead.
So we've got ourselves quite a championship game here with 11:42 remaining in the second.
And Castellano, such a great athlete, too, for the Gales. Leads the league in interceptions and making a big play on offense right there.
Line drive kick scooped up by Burke at the 10, 20-yard line. And then he is hemmed in and brought down at the 20. St. Anthony's will put it in play there. Look at the Gale fans. They are excited, and why not? Their team has had a sensational season.
We got ourselves a ball game now, Lou, in the Catholic final. Yeah, one thing about St. Anthony's, they've had a propensity for giving up points here, but these guys, led by their senior QB, always answer offensively. They will just keep coming. Your mission when you play St. Anthony's is, can you play them for 4 quarters?
Running option, Musel flips it outside, and some hard hitting down at the 25-yard line. A pickup of about 5. Matt Barnathan carries the football. Terrence Cahill in on the tackle for the Gales. Here's a look at Barnathan, 265 yards coming in. Not a lot of yards total-wise, but his average per carry, 7 yards per carry, so he gets the job done when he touches the ball.
Yeah, don't forget the first time these two teams played in week 4. People look at the score, 44-14. St. Anthony's was the final. But at one point, that game was 16-14 at the half.
And Musel, quick drop, and Burke, a terrific catch. Went up the ladder. He's got the first down across the 30 to the 32. That is Sean Burke. Man, he has got glue-fingered hands. Look, when he goes up for that ball, man, you know he's going to catch it.
Yeah, there's no argument he's the best receiver the Friars of St. Anthony's have ever had. He just might be the best receiver to ever come out off of Long Island. I mean, in plays like this. 14 touchdown receptions on the year.
Burke over 1,100 yards receiving this year. 43 receptions coming in. Almost 26 yards per catch.
Yeah, he's tied for all-time touchdowns in the season with his father, Brian Burke.
Great defensive play. Good penetration. Ray Moyer, the senior defensive end.
Yeah, Moyer. First team all-league defensive lineman for a couple years. Look at his size, 6'4", 236. And Big Ray gets excellent penetration right there and stops that play cold. Ray, another guy getting it done in the classroom, National Honor Society.
Iona Prep leading number 4 St. Anthony 7-6. Here with 9:40 remaining. Burke makes the catch on a slant pattern and takes it up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that's the decision you make as a defense. You're going to give Sean Burke everything underneath, but they will just slice their way down the field. Watch the little quick slant. Burke looks for the football, and in this zone, they're going to try and prevent Burke from getting behind them, so that play is going to be open. We'll see how much St. Anthony's take advantage of it. A little 3-step drop, and Musel delivers it, and Burke, he doesn't miss many, boy.
1st and 10 from the 49, running option. Barnathan makes a move, and now is just absolutely crushed behind the line of scrimmage. He was buried. Mike Kuyos was the man who hit him.
Yeah, Kuyos will make the tackle. It was Nicky Carbone with his containment that turned the play back inside, and you see Kuyos. 2 sacks and a pick on the season. And the senior first-team all-leaguer. Really one of the best linemen in school history in the words of his head coach. But watch number 86, left side of your screen. He shuts the option down. So Kuyos on the pursuit. Oh, yeah, look at Kuyos. Big Mike right there, 245 with some quickness.
It's a 2nd down at about 14. Here's a pitch to Barnathan. He's going to throw it. Floats it up in the air for Burke, and it's incomplete. Double covered, and You know, as that ball was up in the air, you almost got the feeling that Burke was going to come down with it, didn't you?
Well, with guys like Burke, Richie Reichert knows you throw the jump ball. It's kind of like the Randy Moss theory. You just throw it up there and see if you can make a play. And so we've seen a couple of option passes here in this game early on. But good coverage downfield by the Gales. Make things tough on Burke. That's what you got to do. Can't let the guy be comfortable as he roams around the secondary. As you saw, Barnathan let that one fly.
8:25 remaining in the second. 7-6 Iona Prep. Here's the flip outside across the 50-yard line, and a big gainer here for the Friars. John Gagliano took the pitch.
And excellent recognition by Gagliano on this play, Lou, because he knows he's real close to the sidelines, turns it back up into the field, and gets some running room. Good speed option right here. And watch Gagliano turns it back inside instead of letting the guy just use the sideline as the tackle point and just knock him out of bounds. Turns it inside, and that gave him the real estate he needed to get up close to a first down. He'll be short, but a very manageable now 4th and a long one. Let's see what St. Anthony's does. I didn't see the punt team come on the field. They are going for it.
It is 4th down and less than 2. And a timeout is called, I believe, by Iona Prep. They want to talk about this defensively with 7:36 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, this will be a gutsy call right here by Richie Reichert. Obviously trails in the ball game by a single point.
0 for 0 for St. Anthony.
And you don't want to give Iona Prep a short field to work with. But sometimes these head coaches, you know, they try and challenge their team and make a statement. Hey, Richie Reichert, 26 years, 149 victories. He's a Friar through and through, 1970 graduate.
Well, let's check in with Eamon McEnany. Oh, my mistake.
And we will next week, Lou, our next game, we are going live, baby. This Thursday, Thanksgiving. Wake up, get the turkey out of the oven, and turn on MSG. Unprecedented. First time ever we are live on MSG, 10:30 a.m. It's the Cardinals of Greenwich, the 2004 FCX champions, taking on their good friends from Staples, the defending state champs, the Wreckers of Staples. It's the Snapple Game of the Week, live Thanksgiving Day, Greenwich and Staples, only on MSG. And there's St. Anthony's #1 fan, Lou, none other than LL Cool J. Mama said, knock you out. Good LL, looks good, man. He's a Friar today, baby. No surprise, he's on the cell phone.
Yeah, he's got a good view of everything right there on the sideline. Seeing some hard hitting in this Catholic League championship game.
Maybe he's calling Puff Daddy, saying the Gales are up by 1, baby, in the second quarter.
4th and less than 2, and good penetration by Iona Prep. St. Anthony's does not get the first down. Oh, a big play.
Jeffrey Perez, the sophomore. And give Iona Prep credit, man. This is a young football team, and they have come in ready to slug it out with the 4-time champions. And watch Perez here. They're going straight up the gut with Panarelli, and Perez's penetration. I mean, he just knocks his blocker straight into the backfield and blows the whole play up. Oh, what a play by 6-0 Perez.
Let's see if Iona Prep can take advantage of that defensive stand. They have great field position from their 44-yard line. And coming around the left side is Darlos James, but he is ridden out of bounds by Dominic Finelli. So a very short pickup, if any, on that play.
I mean, I know we keep harping on the youth of this team, but there's Perez, the sophomore, making the big stop on Panarelli, and then they come out first play to Darlos James. He's only a freshman. Oh, what a statement right there on 4th down for that Gales defense.
2nd down and 9. Twin receivers go to the right side, and Mara straight back to throw. Flips it outside to Manuel. He's got lots of room. There's a flag down. Makes a nice move across the 45-yard line, but again, there is a penalty flag down at midfield.
So good-looking play by Iona Prep. We'll see what the call is here. Generally in the area of an illegal block or defensive holding, so we'll see what it is.
Rich Reichert curious as well. The officials really discussing this one.
Oh, yeah. Where's the Jeopardy music when we need it?
Yeah. And it is against Iona Prep.
So, Coach Reichert and the Friars will obviously accept the penalty.
Wipes out a big play for the Gales. And we'll push them back. Vic Carollo. What a job he has done.
We got illegal use of the hands on the offense to the man.
An emphatic referee we got.
10 yards from the spot.
Mike Bowden, man, he really lets you know it. I like him.
Not only was that illegal use of hands, that was to the mask.
Oh, yeah. Who made him mad?
Second down and 12 from the 41-yard line. Mara out of the shotgun, setting up a screen, goes to Manueli, makes the catch and banged down hard at the 49.
It's a good play by Mara there, Lou, because he's got a lot of heat coming in his kitchen right here and does a good job to watch him just jump a little bit and get the ball up over the defense quickly before the pursuit is there. And Manueli able to turn it up. So it brings up a third down and about 4.
Leo Calvo with that hard hit for the Friars. And Iona Prep will snap it from their own 49. Third down, 4 yards to go. Running hard up the middle, Manueli. And looks like he's got it up for the first down. And it is a first down for the Gales.
Just a blue-collar guy, Joe Manueli. The book on Joe, in the words of his head coach, he just straps it on. He will outwork you, he'll out-hit you, and he will out-hustle you. A blue-collar guy from the word go. That's straight from Coach Carolla. Yeah, that's a big first down right there because this drive is going.
First and 10, just shy of the 45. Split backs behind Mara. And receiver split left, right. Mara straight back to throw. Flips it outside. Catch made and a good hit after the catch by Fume, who's really got guns blazing here today. Clifton Pope made the catch. But I'll tell you, Chris Fume has really got it locked and loaded today.
Yeah, it's a big tackle by the junior, Chris, as you said, Lou, because this is another excellent ball delivered right in stride to Clifton Pope. Pope caught the game winner a week ago. And watch Mara, just effortless, man. Really just with a nice touch on the football. But Chris closed it out.
Second down, about 7. Mara pump fakes. Now he's going for the corner. Castellano, and it is incomplete. Coverage offered by Robert Cheney. It'll bring up a third down and long. 5:02 remaining second quarter. Sean Mara, 5 of 6 so far, 55 yards and a touchdown, of course. The big touchdown to give the Gales the lead.
Yeah, first incomplete pass he threw right there.
On the season, hitting at 46%, over 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. He's had a terrific year. On 3rd and 7, the handoff to Manueli, hit behind the line of scrimmage and driven back. Nick Boysich was the man who stood him up.
Yeah, Boysich making a play now. 240-pound nose guard, 2-year starter. This guy's the captain of the wrestling team. And he won a Catholic League title as a wrestler. But watch number 51, working left side of your screen, sheds the block. And Manueli runs into a wall of 51. Just excellent instincts right there. And I like those wrestlers, man, when they're along that line of scrimmage.
Trancone with the punt. Burke can't find the handle and then covers inside the 10-yard line. So St. Anthony's will take over at that point. 4:19 remaining second quarter. Iona Prep 7, St. Anthony 6 on the Snapple High School football game of the yard line. Lou Brogno, Jimmy Cavallo, Eamon McEnany. Glad you could join us here on the Snapple High School football game of the week. A special presentation today of the CHSFL AAA championship game.
And Coach Vic Carollo's team, what a job they've done, Lou, because don't forget, St. Anthony's came out, first possession of the game, right down the field and scored. Since then, Iona Prep done an outstanding job defensively and lead this game 7-6. So it's a battle.
Second down in about 6 for the Friars. And Uzel keeps himself, is hit hard and driven back at the 18-yard line.
We've got Kuyos right there. And you see the numbers. I mean, St. Anthony's, don't forget, this is a school with nearly 3,000 students. Iona Prep, you see the numbers on the football field, 50 more players. You know, many teams have hung around with St. Anthony's for a couple quarters, Lou. As we mentioned, the first time they played in week 4, it's a 2-point game at the half. Your mission, your quest, can you stick with them for 4 quarters of football?
It's a big play here, third down at about 6. And Uzel back to throw, fires incomplete. Overthrew Burke. Good coverage by Matt Missisco.
Yeah, it's probably a good decision by Burke, too. Maybe he's throwing this one away because, as you said, Missisco was all over Burke. And the offense of St. Anthony's now a little stymied now since the opening drive. Watch it once again. Burke with time. Check that, Burke out in the flats and Uzel with time. And look at the sidelines of Iona Prep. They appreciate a good defensive series.
Ryan Jenkins is back to receive this punt. It's a good kick. Jenkins lets it bounce inside the 30, inside the 25, still rolling. Oh, what a kick. A big roll here for Marangolo. It's still rolling and finally down at about the 13-yard line.
So out will come Sean Mara once again, Lou. And of course, people familiar with the name Mara. Sean Mara, the grandson of the late, great Wellington Mara, longtime owner of the Giants. Led the Giants to 2 Super Bowl championships. The Mara family really just synonymous with the NFL. Of course, when Canton called, Wellington Mara, a Hall of Famer. What a ride, overseeing the Giants' 11 children, 40 grandchildren, and of course one of them right there, the quarterback of Iona Prep, Sean Mara, has his team in the Catholic Finals. What a story, what a ride.
And he brings his team up with a first down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Trip receivers, but they hand it off up the middle. And some hard yards there. Let's check in with Eamon.
Well, you know, Lou, obviously when Mr. Mara passed away, it was a very emotional week for Sean. And on Friday was the funeral at St. Patrick's Cathedral. He was able to make it to practice throughout the week. On Saturday, the Gales played a very important game at home against Monsignor Farrell. And when Sean arrived at school that Saturday morning, his teammates said, "We're going to go out and win this one for your grandfather." And late in the game, Sean Mara threw a touchdown pass to Joe Manueli that was the winning score of the game. So that was a very emotional win for the Gales. Let's go back up to Jimmy and Lou.
Yeah, and Sean really a reflection of his grandfather. Understated, humble kid. Never really, let everybody know who he was as he could have. And let's face it, Lou, if my grandfather owned the Giants, I'd be bringing Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor to show and tell. But not this guy. And he is a Mara through and through.
Timeout on the field with 1:41 remaining here in the second quarter. And a little bit of a surprise, as it has been all season long with this Iona Prep team. They lead 4-time defending champion St. Anthony 7-6 here in the waning moments of this first half. It's been a combination of tenacious defense and coming up with the big play on offense for the Gales.
And Coach Carolla huddling his boys. He's a busy man right now because Vic Carolla, not only the head football coach here, but also the varsity basketball coach. And here he was yesterday. This is yesterday, a basketball scrimmage, a day before the Catholic final title game. He's got a basketball scrimmage, a little defense in a low post, talking to his boys. Hey, who's got the open man right there? Come on, fellas. And Vic Carolla, just a coach through and through. He puts the C in the word coach. And a busy weekend for Coach Vic, as they like to call him. But really done a great job with that basketball program, too.
2 city titles, 9 years, the head coach of the basketball team.
Yeah, 1997 and 2002. Beat Fordham Prep in 02 and beat Bishop Ford in 97. As you say, 2002, Chris Murphy and Johnny O'Neill. Back in the 90-17, Justin Jackett who went to Manhattan. And Nick Delfico over to Fairfield.
Manueli cuts it back inside and then is dragged down. A short pickup. And it will bring up 3rd down. And St. Anthony's will stop the clock here with 1:33. The idea of getting the ball back.
Oh, yeah, the Friars are hungry here, Lou. Not feeling good about themselves in this first half. Now, watch the pursuit to the football on the right side. And Dulce, once again, out there. Also getting in on the action. With a tackle, Timmy Dotzler. And Dotzler, the junior. But St. Anthony's now want to try and give themselves another possession. And for Iona Prep, it's the exact opposite, Lou. Just want to play mistake-free here. Get into the locker room with a 1-point lead. You know, you come in as the underdog. You played a good, crisp first half. Defensively, you're right on target. Leave the field with that 1-point lead.
Of course, the first time these two teams played, it was 44-14. A lot of people didn't give Iona Prep much of a chance in this championship game.
Hey, but as I mentioned, a 2-point game. And it was Burke who hurt them in the second half. And I can't say it enough. You know, St. Anthony's has had a bunch of games this year. You look at, the Chaminade game. You look at this game. You look at St. Joseph's by the Sea, where teams have hung around and done some things. And even the Chaminade semifinal from a week ago, 7-7 at the half. But this program led by Richie Reichert knows how to play 4 quarters of football, and they will just keep coming. Don't forget, they haven't lost to a Catholic opponent since the year 2000. So even when they don't look good at times, the Friars always get it done.
Pump fake and the throw across the middle, and that's going to be good for a 1st down. Mara with a big throw to Darlos James, and that moves the sticks.
And there's the confidence they have in the first-year quarterback, the junior Mara. And we mentioned they don't want to turn the ball over here. They know St. Anthony's is stopping the clock with timeouts, and they say, you know what? He makes good decisions. Let him throw the football. And he hits the open man right there, James, and that picks up a 1st down. Now the clock is moving once again. So even though they're not going to score on this drive, this might be the drive that just keeps St. Anthony's offense off the field.
Coming the other way is James, and that strung out Dulce on the tackle. There's a flag down at the 27-yard line.
And Coach Carolla, Darlos James, I mean, you can't say enough, the freshman playing in a game like this. Boy, Darlos James is going to be part of the high school weekly for a long time to come. You're getting this many touches as a freshman. He's going to look forward to Tuesday nights at 10:30, turning on Mike Quick for a lot of years in Catholic football competition.
Well, think about it. I mean, the kid's a freshman, and, just the whole...
We got motion! Penalty decline!
I'm sorry for laughing, though. He kills me to start this.
Just the whole aspect, though, of James. I mean, the kid's not nervous. I mean, he's playing it. Hofstra, big crowd, championship game. The game's on television. The whole thing.
Yeah, he's been there before, though. I mean, this is not his first touches of the year. Scored 2 touchdowns against the Mount earlier in the season. That was his first full game of the year was against the Mount. Scored 2 touchdowns. And that was really his coming out party. And he never wants off the field. He let the coaches know he wants to be out there. And he has really responded coming off the JV in midseason. And is part of the mix now. Darlos James, the freshman. Here he is.
And more great high school football coming your way right here on MSG. How about live coverage on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, DJ Stefkovich and the boys coming off a loss against Trumbull, so they're going to try and get it going once again against Greenwich. The Cardinals need a victory on Thanksgiving Day. All the action live on MSG, 10:30 a.m. Love you to be there.
One of the great rivalries in the tri-state area. Always something special about those Turkey Day tilts, huh?
Well, yeah, Thanksgiving morning, you got a lot of guys home from college, the alumni, guys like that. You know, speaking of alumni, too, what a week it's been at Iona Prep. As Eamon McEnany and myself were in the office talking to Coach Carollo, Brother Gaffney came in and went through the litany of people that have been calling all week long, well-wishers and alumni. Everybody's excited to see Iona Prep in the finals.
2nd down and 13. The carry goes up the middle. Joe Manueli carries. And looks like St. Anthony's will use their final timeout to stop the clock with 50 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Iona Prep, only 750 boys, second smallest in the 18 AAA. School was founded in 1916 by the Irish Christian brothers. Their first sport was football. They won a CHSFL championship in 1954, won it again in '67, and they are one of the founding members of the CHSFL.
All right, let's check in with Eamon. He's got a special guest. Eamon.
All right, Lou, well, we had him on camera earlier, and the St. Anthony fans are chanting, "We have LL." Now MSG has LL.
Yeah.
What brings you here to this big game?
I'm actually visiting Keith Shannon. He's a friend of mine. He's actually my partner, Ron Gallo's nephew, and it's a great game. I mean, it's 7-6 right now, so and Iona's up, but I think St. Anthony's can do it.
All right, being out here, you probably want to start any given Sunday, too. You got any tips for Keith?
I think the key, you know what? Actually, when I look at the game, I think that St. Anthony's has to work on filling the gaps in more on defense. I think that's an issue. I think they're leaving it way too open, and they're vibing real crazy. Yeah, but other than that, I think that, you know, the game is tight, and I think they'll pull it out.
All right, thank you very much. Jimmy, you may be warm, but I just meant LL, and he's vibing like crazy.
Vibing. He's taking my job.
Off the charts.
MSG.
He's analyzing the game, Jim.
I know. Mike Quick just called, said, "Jimmy, you're on your way out." LL's in the elevator up to the top of the press box.
Third down and about 8. Split back, so they head off to Manueli. He's hit and driven back. So Iona Prep will have to kick the football away to St. Anthony's.
And by you saying kick the football away is the issue here, Lou, because when number 7 sets up to catch a punt for St. Anthony's, it's always a dangerous situation. You know, Sean Burke, 16 touchdowns on the year. He's got a couple of returns for TDs, and anytime this guy gets his hands on the football, good things can happen. I would not even attempt to kick it to him as the clock runs down. And a good job here by Iona Prep. We'll take some of this clock with them. Look at that.
Yep, and they finally stop it. They take delay game, actually. The delay game penalty comes with 8 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you want to just kick the ball out of bounds here. Get the ball up by the 50-yard line. Get it out of bounds. And Coach Carollo will let St. Anthony's take one Hail Mary shot down the field. But don't let Sean Burke come up and catch this ball on the fly with a head of steam.
Trancone is in to punt it away. It's blocked. Blocked by the Friars. The football loose and covered at the 28, but I think time has expired. Sean Burke is trying to tell the official there should be 1 second left, but I don't think St. Anthony's is going to get the benefit of that call.
Yeah, Richie Riker wants 1 second put on because when Iona Prep jumped on it, there was still a second left. And he's got a point there because once the kid jumps on it for Iona Prep and his knee is down, there should be 1 second left. And isn't this going to be an interesting moment now for Eamon McEnany to grab Richie Reichert? And we will now send it down to Eamon with Coach Reichert.
All right, Coach, obviously you wanted a second left to try to get a field goal. Did the referees tell you why the time's out?
I just said a time ran out. We thought there was a second left. Hey, what are you going to do?
They've taken your offense away from you. Your offense has stalled since the opening drive. What are you going to try to work on at halftime to get your offense?
Running the football. You know, that's what we're going to do, and we'll get it done.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half. Jimmy and Lou, let's send it back up to you.
All right, Eamon. Our score at the half is Iona Prep 7, St. Anthony's 6. And you are watching the Snapple High School football game of the week. Get ready for second half action. That first half, despite the low score, Jimmy, a lot of action.
Yeah, 1-point game. We open up. The 4-time champions, St. Anthony's, they look like the 4-time champions. Opening drive of the game, 48 yards. They go in 5 plays to cap it. Chris Enuzel, his 11th rushing touchdown of the season. St. Anthony's would miss the extra point. It was 6-0 St. A's. Move now to the second quarter. Oh, yeah, Sean Mara goes to work. He's got 13 touchdown passes on the season. Here's another one. 26 yards to Mark Castellano. They would make the extra point, and it was 7-6 Iona Prep. Big play in the ball game here. Closing seconds of the half. Iona Prep back to punt. St. Anthony's blocks it, but look, the ball goes forward. The clock would run out. Hey, if that ball comes backwards, lots of Friars there to pounce on. It could have been a touchdown. So it's 7-6 Iona Prep after 2 quarters.
You take a look at the first half numbers, and the Gales with 137 total yards, 64 of those through the air. And total plays, Iona Prep owned that first half, ran 33 plays compared to St. Anthony's 21.
Quickly, Lou, we go through the MSG Network Top 10 poll. Hey, Don Bosco Prep is 1 win away from finishing number 1. Middletown South is going to the state finals. St. Peter's Prep is playing Bosco for it all. St. Anthony's hoping to stay at number 4, looking for number 5. St. Joseph Montvale's in the state final. Look at Jackson there in the state final. Staples off a loss. We'll see them on Thanksgiving. Queen of Peace is in the state final. North Rockland, season over. Lost to Monroe Woodbury. Phillipsburg, the state liners taking on Piscataway for it all.
All right, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Eamon McEnany.
Well, Lou, you mentioned that Iona Prep dominated the time of possession in the first half, and I was eavesdropping on the Gales coaches. They're very happy that their offense is doing its job to keep Chris Enuzel and the Friar offense off the field. In the St. Anthony's locker room, Coach Rich Riker told his players it's very simple. They are dominating the line of scrimmage. If we don't correct that, we will lose. And then he told his team, they had our half, let's go half ours. Jimmy and Lou, let's go back to you as we get ready for the kickoff of the second half.
All right, St. Anthony's will kick it off from right to left on your screen.
Yeah, look at that. This Saturday, the Snapple game of the week is staying on Long Island. Stony Brook University, it is the battle of the Long Island. The Long Island Championships. Out of Nassau County comes Baldwin, taking on the Boys out of Suffolk County, William Floyd. It's Baldwin, Floyd, the Long Island Championships next Saturday on the Snapple game of the week. You'll see it on Sunday morning at 8 a.m.
That kick sails into the end zone. Mike Barbauer with an outstanding kickoff. So Iona Prep will have the football to begin the second half, and they have a 7-6 lead. Sean Mara with a solid first half. Of course, delivering that touchdown pass. Mara 6 of 7 in the first half. 64 yards in the big touchdown pass.
So St. Anthony's looking to come out, make a defensive stand here and get the ball back to their offense. Don't forget, a week ago against Chaminade in the Catholic semifinals, they also had a 7-7 game.
Mara fires over the middle, and that could be a fumble. And it is a fumble recovered by St. Anthony's.
Yeah, the official said Jenkins had possession of the ball, took a couple steps, and then just lost the handle. This will be an interesting replay, as once again Mara right on target. Look at the ball he throws right here. I don't know. That is not a fumble right there. He never had complete possession of this ball. Watch this. Does he ever have this ball? No way. I mean, come on. He's just looking for it the whole time.
St. Anthony's football at the 46-yard line. Enuzel, little bit quarterback draw, if you will. Now trying to get outside and is not going to turn the corner. Strung out well by Iona Prep. Getting back to that last play. You saw on that play, Jenkins, he didn't go after the ball after he dropped the ball. I think he was convinced it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, even if, I mean, listen, we had slow motion right there and he was bobbling it at full speed. I could feel Jenkins' pain right there. That was a tough one right there. He probably thought he just didn't have that all the way. But hey, listen, you got to play on. This is a high school football game. You get a call, questionable call, you just play on. Because there's not going to be any video replay or reversals here, and Coach Vic knows that. And now a holding is going to go against St. Anthony's, so we'll put them in a first down and 20.
You bring the football back to the 44-yard line.
Don't forget Richie Riker's club tied at 7.5 against Chaminade a week ago. They scored on their first 3 possessions of the second half, led by the quarterback, Christopher Enuzel.
Handoff goes up the middle. Short pickup on the play. Vinny Panarelli on the carry.
Yeah, you heard Coach Richie Reichert say we're going to try and run the football as he went off the field in the first half. And you see Panarelli's numbers so far. They'd really like to get the Panarelli Express going here. But kind of tough to establish the run when you're in a second down and 18, 19 yards. You got to throw the football here.
It is second and about 18. Enuzel back to throw, gets away from one defender, now pulls the football down across the 50, gets a good block on the corner, and then maneuvers his way across the 40-yard line. Chris Enuzel, a tough runner out of that quarterback slot.
Great recognition, because watch Nicky Carbone coming on the blitz right here, the outside linebacker. Good little chip block there along the line. That frees Enuzel up, and he can start navigating his way down the field. So a big play there by Enuzel to put him in a manageable third down situation. Once again, Carbone on the blitz, gets a good little block by Pupo, and Enuzel then tucks it and runs. And that's what you get out of Christopher Enuzel. He can run the football from that quarterback position. This is a guy who's only lost one game as a starter in his career, and that was to our #1 team, Don Bosco Prep, to open up the season. This guy is a flat-out winner, so you expect him to respond here in the second half.
On a 3rd and 2, Enuzel keeps it himself, has the first down, and dives down near the 30-yard line. Well, Enuzel almost 600 yards rushing out of the quarterback slot. Great. You can see why.
Yeah, great patience here by Enuzel. Look at him as he comes down the line of scrimmage, lets the play develop, sees the block he gets there by Panarelli, and just turns it upfield for an all-important first down. So, outstanding work here by the St. Anthony's defense after the holding penalty, a first down and 20, and they got it going now. Ball at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Friars. One setback behind Enuzel. And he's straight back to throw. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete.
Yeah, the big hands of Kuyos there. And Mikey getting his hands up, as they tell you when that ball's released. You guys on the line of scrimmage, get those hands up. And watch the co-captain here off a little play action. And as Enuzel delivers, Mike goes up and knocks her down.
Second down, 10. Hand off to Panarelli, gets outside and drags tacklers with him. Brendan Barnwell hangs on for the stop for the Gales, but a big pickup.
Yeah, only one starter back on this offensive line from a championship team a year ago, and they're looking to get off here in the second half. Good closeout block along the line of scrimmage by Alan Newtendorf. And you see Panarelli now starting to get it going. A 3rd down and 1 now. 2-down territory here for St. Anthony's. Although they can kick a field goal in a 1-point game, they might consider it.
3rd and 1 from the 21. Handoff goes up the middle, and that should be enough for the first down. Keith Shannon carried the football. And he gets inside the 20, and this St. Anthony's offense looks like an offensive unit with purpose coming out of the locker room. They're really firing off the ball.
Yeah, they did, Lou. You said it correctly. They got off the ball there for Richie Reichert. And when your offensive line gets off there and fires out, the running backs just got to kind of move it ahead. And that's just what they did. They went forward and picked up 2 yards. They only needed 1. It's 1st and 10 now for the Friars on the move once again.
Enuzel straight back, flips it outside. It's caught down near the 10-yard line. That's Brian Pomper, the junior wide receiver.
Yeah, good quick route here by Popper, and they're doing a good job picking up the blitz. And you'll see the blitz come off the right side here. You just got to put a body on him. And Enuzel, a little 3-step drop, delivers the ball quickly. And now just an offensive position you like to be in. 2nd down and a long 1, maybe 2. And with a guy like Enuzel under center, you got a lot of options here. He can make the right kind of decision.
2nd down and 2 from the 11-yard line. Run in option. Enuzel at the 5. He's in. Touchdown, St. Anthony's.
There he is, the leader. That's what you expect out of him. Rushing touchdown number 12 on the year for the senior, Chris Enuzel. What a ball fake to Panarelli. Look at Panarelli. Looks like he has it, draws the defense. And look at Enuzel. How many quarterbacks you see can break tackles and make moves like that to get into the end zone? 2nd touchdown in the afternoon. And now St. Anthony's looks like they're going to go for 2, Lou. Try and make up for the extra point they missed on their opening score.
Friars come up with a full house backfield. Play action. Enuzel looking. Now he's going to run it in. 2-point conversion successful. And with 8:22 remaining in the 3rd, it's now St. Anthony's 14, Iona Prep 7.
Yeah, look at the leader of the Friars leading them. And the one thing Richie Riker told me about Chris Enuzel that he noticed between junior and senior year was his quickness. This guy came back as a senior and he was just quicker than he was as a junior. And watch the explosion right here of Enuzel, because Iona Prep has got this covered. First on the touchdown, the big fake inside to Panarelli. Look at him turn it inside and the burst into the end zone. And then on the 2-pointer, watch the coverage here by Iona Prep. Little plays they got to cover. Watch the explosive quickness right through there at the point of attack into the end zone. An all-important 2-pointer. And once again, good coverage. And look right here. Just lightning fast through the hole. Sees a seam and attacks it. And the Friar faithful are loving it, because they have a 7-point lead in the game.
This kick sails to the 1, returnable by Jenkins, and he slips down at the 17-yard line. So Iona Prep with poor field position to begin this drive. St. Anthony's taking advantage of the turnover, the fumble at midfield, and then driving into the end zone. 8 plays, 53 yards, and Enuzel on the 11-yard touchdown run.
And once you see it time and time again with a Richie Riker coach team come out of the locker room with a focus, with a preparation, and they respond for their first touch of the 2nd half and retake the lead.
Here's Jenkins coming around the end, and he's banged out of bounds. And the first man there was Chris Fumet. He's been all over the field, sideline to sideline today for the Friars.
And the junior, and as you mentioned, Lou, he has really been throwing his body around. Dulce strings it out, and watch Fumet right there. Wow. And Chris has played a spirited game from his linebacker position, because Iona Prep's got a lot of speed to get to those corners, and Jenkins. And they closed it down. So let's see if Iona Prep can respond now under their ultra-poised quarterback, Sean Mara.
2nd down and 6. Mara quick drop. Flips outside to the tight end, Clifton Pope. And he brings it up to about the 28-yard line.
Just love the delivery of Sean Mara. It's a very compact, tight, just gets rid of the ball so fast. And the ball just gets to his receiver in a split second and just gets the whole play going. And this is not a guy who's going to beat you with his legs, but he's got good quick feet, creates a little space for himself to throw the football, so he doesn't get sacked a lot. You combine that with a quick release, and it makes for a very efficient passing attack.
The officials call for a measurement, and it is a first down for the Gales.
So once again, you watch Sean Mara go to work. Little 3-step drop, wants the southpaw, just load it up and quickly fires the ball in there. Not a big, long delivery. And this is the guy that's going to have to lead him. Listen, if you're going to knock off St. Anthony's, you're going to have to do something special. You're going to have to play a special game, make big plays. There's no way they were running out of here with a 1-point lead. St. Anthony's can score with the best of them. Oh, yeah.
Kevin Dulce with the penetration.
Yeah, this is the reason why Al Groh down in Virginia said, Mr. Dulce, we'd like you to play football for us. And he will go play for the Cavs. Look at him off the edge right there. Explosion right there. And the thing they love about Dulce, Lou, is he practices hard, man. He brings it all in practice. They love his motor. And really one of the best pass rushers we have in the tri-state. And Kevin Dulce, the senior defensive end, that's a body for Division I, and he will play in the ACC at Virginia next year.
Second down and about 10. Mara, play action, flips over the middle, nearly intercepted, intended for Castellano, and Cheney had a good shot at a pick right there.
Just excellent coverage by Bobby Cheney, the senior. And Mara's just going to try and strong arm this one in there. Him and Castellano, a lot of chemistry, and just lets it fly. But as you mentioned, Lou, Cheney, blanket coverage right there on the receiver. So Iona Prep now with a third down and long. Nearly 10 yards for the first down.
Clock stopped with 7:08 remaining in the third. St. Anthony's up by the score of 14-7. Twin receivers go left side and split backs behind Mara. He's straight back to throw. Steps up, delivers long, incomplete. He had to rush his throw as he was pressured. Leo Calvo coming in with the pressure.
Yeah, big blitz inside. And they blitz from their middle linebacker position. And as you mentioned, Lou, Mara had to let that one go because they were in on him in a hurry. And now watch it once again. They will come from the middle with a blitz. And you see Mara just letting it fly with the pressure on him. No choice right there but to throw it away.
Trancone, it's a high, wobbly kick that goes across the 40 and picked up by Burke. Trying to make a play, circles back around, gets to the corner. Look at Burke, up the sideline, across the 40-yard line. Burke still on his feet and is dragged down inside the 25. Oh, man. Sean Burke with a sparkling play. 6:40 remaining in the third. 14-7, St. Anthony's on the Snapple football game of the week.
25 in business. Sean Burke, outstanding.
And he is wide to the left, but they run it to the right. And trying to weave his way through the defense, John Gagliano. And he picks up a couple. Iona Prep played that very well on that first down play. Down to 6:20 and counting down here in the third. Second down, 10 coming up for St. Anthony's. They have a 14-7 lead.
So tough task now for this Iona Prep defense, Lou, working with a short field ball to 24-yard line. So they really have no room for error here. Got to try and keep St. Anthony's off the board to keep it a one-score game.
Second and 10 from the 23. And Uzel straight back to throw. Now dances around back there, escapes. Heading for the corner across the 20. And he jumps out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
What a juke by Uzel. This play was trouble from the start because Iona Prep, good job by their secondary. Good coverage downfield by the boys from Iona Prep. Castellano and Jenkins and Scarella had good coverage. Watch the juke right here. Woo! Right inside. And this juke enables him to pick up about 5 or 6 yards. And Lou, when you have a kicker like Cody Marangolo, 4 or 5 from field goal range this year, guy who kicked the game-winning field goals to the Catholic Championship a year ago, 3 would be very important here.
And off goes up the middle. Not much there.
And now you're probably going to see him because they come up short. And so instead of going for it on 4th and 2, it would be a 32-yard field goal. And I think you try it here with Cody because a 7-point lead can turn into a 10-point lead. And you see Cody, man, he's got the kick and block in his hand. He's waiting for the call.
He's raring to go. Football sits at the 15-yard line, and St. Anthony's wants to talk about it. So the Friars will talk about it with 5:16 remaining in the third. There are Marangolo's numbers.
And we talk about Cody Marangolo. It was a year ago in the Catholic Championship. The Friars, and there's Burke. Sean Burke into the end zone. St. Anthony's had a lead, but here comes Farrell. Mike Salvioni. This is the 04 Catholic Championship. Salvioni takes it to the end zone for the Lions, and we are tied at 14. The game would go to double overtime. And there's that man, Cody Marangolo, splits the uprights. The four-peat was alive. St. Anthony's wins their fourth straight Catholic title on the right foot of the junior Cody Marangolo, who's now a senior waiting for his chance, but I don't think that chance is going to come. He's still on the sidelines, and the offense is still on the field. So another one of those moments where Richie Riker now is challenging his offense, and we saw them get stopped by Iona Prep earlier in this game on fourth down, and this is no gimme right here. They got to get inside the 18-yard line, and you see where the ball is sitting right on the 20. It's a long two.
4th and 2 for the Friars. And Uzel keeps it himself. He's got the first down and a lot more. Inside the 5-yard line, dives to the goal line and gets down to about the 1.
Oh, amazing. The Wizard once again. And then Uzel, he wanted the extension. But this is what you ask him to do in this option. Make a decision. And when there's only one guy on the outside on defense, you are playing right into his hands. And watch once again, Uzel right down the line of scrimmage. You see the option man, he turns the defensive end out, and then he cuts it up inside. And Uzel was that close to his third touchdown of the game, but this is Panarelli territory right here.
Full house backfield for the Friars. 1st and goal from the 1. And off, and good penetration by Iona Prep, but working his way towards the goal line was Panarelli. He did not get in. Good job by that front for the Gales.
And you see Vinny coming off limping, and Iona Prep defensively did what you had to do against the horses, Lou. You got to hit these guys early like Panarelli. Don't let them get a little bit of a head of steam going. And the pursuit of Iona Prep was in the backfield that time, right on the exchange. So excellent penetration on the right side of that Iona Prep defensive line. Polchinski and Coles.
Inside the 1, 2nd down and goal. There's Shannon. Twists his way and dives into the end zone. Touchdown. Keith Shannon on the score for the Friars.
Well, the junior Shannon, that's his 8th touchdown of the year.
And it's a 2-score advantage now for St. Anthony's.
Yeah, it was a tall task for that defense of Iona Prep. The ball right on the doorstep.
Cody Marangolo in to kick the extra point. Kick is on the way, and it is good. 4:03 remaining third quarter. It's now St. Anthony's 21, Iona Prep 7.
So many ways do they attack you, the Friars. After Panarelli doesn't get it on first down, you're thinking maybe the QB is going to come down the line of scrimmage, but look at Shannon. Second back through and fights his way into the end zone. And watch it once again. Good push by that right side at the point of attack. Nice blocking up front. Barnathan Matthew from his running back position with a good seal-off block. And 8th touchdown of the year for Keith Shannon. But Louis, the signature of that drive was Richie Riker going for it on 4th down. He challenged his team once again on 4th.
The public school football player will be recognized as the PSAL Snapple Football Student Athlete of the Week for his performance on the field and in the classroom. This week's winner is Edmund Larea of Tottenville High School.
And the senior had a day a week ago against New Dorp. Edmund Larea really had it going. I mean, first round of the PSAL playoffs, speed and quickness, and call this guy the navigator. Look at the vision as he goes downfield. Watch the adjustments, using pointing out blockers, just weaving and bobbing his way into the end zone. Edwin Larea, the senior, 18 carries, 256 yards. Hey, this is why Greg Schiano and Rutgers said, Edmund, why don't you come play for us, buddy? Here's his 2nd touchdown, 256 yards as Tottenville over New Dorp. Larea is our PSAL Athlete Student of the Week.
And 10 weekly winners will come together at the PSAL Championship game on December 3rd, where one of the 10 will be awarded a $5,000 scholarship from Snapple to be used towards their college education. 4th quarter about to begin, and the St. Anthony's cheerleaders, lots to cheer about. Their team on the verge of a 5th straight Catholic League championship. On a flea flicker, Mara reverses his field, has some room, takes it up the sideline, then ducks out of bounds at about the 33. He got hit hard there on the sideline, and some of the Iona Prep fans were looking for a flag, but none thrown.
Well, there was some big crackback blocks as Mara was making his way downfield. I'm just glad to see all the Friars up and standing, because as Mara was working his way downfield, some of the Gales were just loading up on some Friars, but everybody's up and okay. And Lou, I think the St. Anthony's cheerleaders, not only they had a lot to cheer about with a 14-point lead, but they all took pictures with LL Cool J earlier. So it's been a big night for them.
That's even more to cheer about.
Hey,
1st and 10. And the handoff goes up the middle to about the 35.
And you're watching a couple plays ago. Into the bag of tricks they go. Little flea flicker as Manueli turns around, and then Mara feels the pressure. Nobody's open downfield. Look at him, reverse his field. Did I say this guy couldn't run? Look at some of the blocks right here. Look out here coming up. Bang. Oh, man. Laying some lumber was Mark Castellano. Yeah, good to see St. Anthony's. Everybody's okay, but good-looking play right there. Got him a 1st down.
2nd down, 7. Trying to get to the corner and still on his feet, but then dragged down is Ryan Jenkins. Just never able to get outside.
You know, Lou, I'll admit something to you, buddy. First couple games of the year, we did St. Anthony's against Don Bosco Prep, Monsignor Farrell, and I said, boy, Kevin Dulce, I don't know, man. This guy's going to Virginia. Let me tell you something. He's answered my questions tonight. He has played a big-time game, and he looks like the Division I player that he is going to Virginia. He has been intense. He has been lightning quick, and he is making all kinds of play in this game. He is leaving his mark on the Catholic finals.
3rd and 7. Mara steps up, delivers outside, penalty flag, and that should be interference against St. Anthony's.
Oh, yeah, early contact right there.
Brandon Brown, number 31, on the coverage, and he might have hit Ryan Jenkins a little early.
So it's an important one for Iona Prep. They'll get the 1st down. The clock is stopped. Still over 10 minutes to go in this game.
And the officials talk it over. There's still plenty of time here in this 4th quarter. And this Iona Prep offense, explosive. Whoa.
Now he's going to change that.
Oh, there it is. Holding is the call against St. Anthony's. The official pointed towards Iona Prep.
And you see Mara once again. And the contact came well before that.
Holding on the defense. 10 from the spot, 1st down.
So Mike Bowden, our referee, gets the call. And now Iona Prep ball sits at the 45-yard line, so clock rolls on now. 10:20 to go in this 4th quarter.
1st and 10 at the 45. Trying to get outside, and nothing there for Joe Manueli. Let's check in with Eamon.
Well, guys, you know Kevin Dulce was in on that play, and he's been in on a lot of plays for the St. Anthony's defense, and it didn't take long for Rich Reichert to come up with a nickname for number 95. His nickname is the Energizer because he never stops going and going at practice and in games. And Coach Reichert says it was kind of unfortunate this year because he's been battling turf toe all season long, so he hasn't been able to play at full strength, and it's really been hard for the coach to watch his stud player battle through a very tough injury. Jimmy and Lou, let's go back up to you for this key play.
And there he is again on that play, stopping Manueli on a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, I think the toe's okay.
Sure looks like it today. Mara running for his life here. Now steps up, lets it fly, and it is incomplete. In the general direction of Mark Castellano. So a 3rd down and long coming up for the Gales.
Yeah, got to be a sense of urgency now to convert these 3rd downs for Iona Prep. As they trail by 14, under 10 minutes to go now. So Mara has led this team back before. And they have all the confidence in the world in him. Throwing more passes than anybody in this league this year, Lou. Came in with 166 attempts. 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns coming in. He's thrown one tonight.
Pass comes outside, incomplete. Mara hit as he released, looking for Castellano, and it will bring up a 4th down.
Well, as a defense, Lou, you know what's coming now. So the old football term, they can pin their ears back and just come. And you become predictable in the 4th quarter when you trail by 14 points. And Coach Corolla knows that.
Trancone is into kick it away. And the dangerous Sean Burke is deep. High end over end kick that Burke thought about it, picking it up, I think. And it rolls inside the 10. Burke ran towards the ball, and you might have heard the St. Anthony sideline say, "Get out of there."
Oh, yeah. But this is one that Iona Prep is going to really think about, Louis. Over the middle, they go to Ryan Jenkins. Never has possession of the football, but the officials said he did. St. Anthony's recovers the ball. Couple plays later, who else? Number 10, Anuzel, down the line of scrimmage on the option keeper into the end zone. They would get the 2-pointer, and they had a 14-7 lead, and seemingly they have never looked back from here. We go back to 2001. Johnny Fisk into the end zone. St. Anthony's is up 28-14, and the drive was on for 5. That's number 1. 2002, it's against Chaminade. Matthew Hahn, a touchdown run. 34-32, St. Anthony's. They had number 2. How about 2003? It's going to be Matt Hahn again. It's Farrell once again. Hahn blasts out. What a career. Hey, he scored a touchdown for Penn State this past weekend. Hahn is loving his time playing for Joe Pa. They're going to a BCS Bowl. And then, of course, a year ago, 2004, it was their good friends from Staten Island once again. St. Anthony's against Farrell. Here we go. Cody Marangola, the junior. That is number 4. 4 titles in a row. And with just 2 minutes remaining on this night, there's the trophy number 5. Looks like it's going to the Friars again.
And this drive right here can be typified as the drive for 5. 14 plays, 91 yards, nearly 7 minutes. They have controlled the 4th quarter. And they have a 2nd and goal. The handoff inside the 5-yard line.
And what's amazing when you talk about this drive here, taking the clock with them, don't forget, with 6:50 to go on a 3rd and 9, Anuzel on a keeper on a 3rd and 9. He goes option keeper, and he gets 11 yards, the first down, and from there they have just moved it right on down the field.
Just a minute and 35 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. And St. Anthony's has a 3rd down and goal. And Uzel pitches outside. Barnett then into the end zone. And that should slam the door on this Catholic League championship. What a drive.
Textbook drive culminated by Barnathan, his 7th touchdown of the year. And now the lead is insurmountable once again off the option. So many different looks, and Barnathan untouched into the end zone for his 7th of the year.
Cody Marangolo kicks it through. And with 1:20 remaining in the 4th, it's St. Anthony's 28, Iona Prep 7. And the celebration begins for the Friars.
Now you see it once again. You got to keep Anuzel honest, and when you over pursue him, you know he's going to find one of his teammates. And Barnathan once again. You see how they run it to perfection. It looks like you have it defended, and then the lightning quick pitch. And another one of the speedbacks for St. Anthony's. Look at Barnathan. Hey, got himself a touchdown in the Catholic final, and why not? Got to feel good.
All right, let's check in with Eamon.
Well, guys, back at halftime in the St. Anthony's locker room, Coach Rich Reichert looked at his offense and said, I believe we will score every time we get the ball in the second half. He wasn't 100% accurate because there was one punt, but 3 out of 4, to paraphrase Meatloaf, ain't bad.
A lot of musical references tonight with LL Cool J. I also got word that Eamon McEnany has now joined the LL Cool J posse. He will be hitting the town.
His kickoff bounces and taken back across the 30-yard line. So the Gales have the football with 1:13 remaining, and really at this point just playing for pride as they have had a terrific season.
And LL, he was right, man. He gave us his halftime analysis. It has really come to fruition. I better be careful, LL. But Coach Vic, you saw him on the other sidelines. A lot to build on. You know, he's only in his third year. 20 wins up against 9 losses for Vic Carollo. And he really has done a job at that school, Lou. They've installed a new field turf, a new weight room, new locker rooms. They got the year-round speed and conditioning program going since Vic Carollo has taken over. So really, the program is in great hands.
Coming around the end and not much there. Great pursuit. Now here's a look at how things transpired here today for St. Anthony's. Of course, they have the 28-7 lead, and Uzel, what a job he has done. He's rushed the ball 13 times, 109 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Sean Mara, 10 of 15, had a very good game, 106 yards through the air. The big touchdown pass in the first half, which gave Iona Prep the lead.
Yeah, he was impressive. Looking forward to seeing Sean Mara next year running the Gales. He'll come back with a lot of the skill position players, so they will be a force to be reckoned with in the AAA division.
30 seconds remaining. Handoff goes up the middle. Anthony Raymond carries.
So another big night, Lou, for the Friar Nation, as Richie Reicher's going to get the bucket. I'm sure whether you're Tony Williams or Nick Kartopoulos or Alex Fletcher, look out, Richie. It's coming, baby, from behind. Joe Villani, Matty Hans of the world. And gave him one of the assistants. Why not?
And the celebration begins. 5 straight Catholic League titles for the Friars of St. Anthony's, and they did it in the second half, Jimmy, in dominating fashion.
Yeah, turned a 1-point deficit into an emphatic 21-point victory, the trademark of a Rich Riker team. A second half explosion, and they shut out Iona Prep in the second half. And 5 titles, and for Sean Mara, he will look towards next year.
So the CHSFL AAA title goes to St. Anthony's, their 5th straight championship. Once again, our final score is St. Anthony's 28 and Iona Prep 7. Today's game was produced by Bob Lawani and directed by Tom Niebuhr. Our associate producer was Mike Santini, and our graphics coordinator was Will Sanchez. Join us again next week for 2 great high school matchups. First, live on Thanksgiving Day, Staples takes on Greenwich, a classic Connecticut battle, Thursday, November 24th at 10:30 a.m. on MSG. Then we head out to Long Island for the Snapple High School football game of the week. It's the Long Island Class 1 Championship from Stony Brook. So make sure you tune into MSG Network on Sunday morning, November 26th at 8 a.m. to catch all the action. Everything you want or need to know about the Tri-State high school scene is covered by our man Mike Quick. Watch Mex Prep's High School Weekly every Tuesday night at 10:30. Thanks for watching this special presentation of high school football on MSG. Raymond McEnany and Jimmy Cavallo. I'm Lou Brogno. See you next week.
I got it because I couldn't take dial-up another second.
What is it?
It's brain lock. What was he doing right before he froze?
He was trying to remember who played first base for the Red Sox in '86. It was like right on the tip of his tongue.
Bill Buckner. There you go, sir.
Right through his legs.
Right through his legs. And if it happens again, just text us at 542-542.
It's a miracle.
No, ma'am. It's KGB.
Text your question to 542-542.
Take me out to Esurance. Take me to Savings Online. Auto insurance that's hassle-free. When you buy it, instantly let me quote. Buy it at Esurance. If you don't save, it's a shame. For it's $100, $200, $300 you could save with the Esurance name.
Save time and money on your auto insurance at Esurance.
8. That's how many credit cards the average person has in their wallet. It's so easy to get into trouble with debt.
Call Consolidated Credit. They'll get the credit card companies to reduce or eliminate your interest.
They're the freedom people.
Call toll-free 1-800-215-3116.
Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, they're the solution.
The NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championship, presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. And in part by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
We're back in College Station, Texas, the home of the Texas A&M Aggies, for more NCAA track and field. Day 1 continues. And in the 5 event, women's pentathlon, it was junior Amy Menlove of Brigham Young in a tight battle with Gail Hunter of Penn State and Oregon's Brianna Thiessen going into the final event, the 800 meters, where she scores a personal best to win the event by 23 points. She also scored 2 points in the long jump.
In the women's 20-pound weight throw, it was Deanna McCarty, the sophomore from Louisville, who was picked for 3rd coming in. She stepped in that 7-foot diameter circle and flung that ball out 72 feet 5 3/4 inch to take the victory by almost a foot over her nearest competitor. Throws coach at Arizona State, Dave Dumble, had 15 big points in the men's shot put, as Ryan Whiting, the National Collegiate Indoor Champion from a year ago and record holder, wound up throwing the ball 66 feet 1 3/4 inch for victory.
In the women's high jump, a great battle between 2 juniors, Texas's Destiny Hooker and Arizona's Liz Patterson. The bar at 6 feet 6 inches, and on her 2nd attempt, Hooker is over, setting a new collegiate record, breaking a 4-way tie for that record. The 6'4" volleyball player has the collegiate record all to herself. But it wasn't over. Liz Patterson, who won the NCAA title outdoors last year and has already set a personal best 6'4 3/4, also attempting 6 feet 6 inches, trying to tie the collegiate record, and very close, but she doesn't make it this time. Hooker wins it and gets the record. On to the women's 5,000 meters, and it's all about Sally Kipyego. She has 8 NCAA championships in this meet, trying to tie and then surpass Susie Favor-Hamilton with 9, and she had a huge lead.
She certainly did. She's accomplished that in less than 3 years at Texas Tech, and she broke away halfway through the race. Dwight really surged on her own to take the lead and make sure no one was with her and cruised to victory. And she wound up really stepping on the accelerator only very late in the race, and she wound up averaging 4 minutes and 59 seconds for the first 1,600 meters of the race. Then the pace sagged, and then she came on and pulled away from everybody by a 1/4 of a lap.
As the race progressed, the chase pack was closing in on her, but not enough to deny her the tie of Susie Favor-Hamilton. Kuntz of Villanova came out of nowhere for 2nd with 4 women under 16 minutes. But Sally Kipyego, it was all about her winning this race and saving as much energy as she could for the mile on day 2. In the men's 5,000 meters, a completely different type of race. Senior Galen Rupp of Oregon, already having set the American and collegiate record at this distance earlier this season. And he had quite a race on his hands, Larry.
It was very tactical, and Sam Chalanga, who he's battled in cross country, went out, took the lead, but had a very controlled, slow pace. He would accelerate sometimes for 400 meters and then slow down. Late in the race, with 400 meters to go, Rupp scorched everybody and the track to bury the field and wind up running the last 800 meters in 1 minute 56 seconds plus for the last 800. Really a terrific performance. He slowed down late in this,